Greetings, everyone. Once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Advocate Buleng. Today, I want us to briefly look at the subject of perjury, the law on perjury in South Africa. Before we proceed, let me start by explaining or defining the term perjury. What is perjury? Perjury is lying under oath or affirmation. Lying under oath or affirmation. It is willfully giving false testimony under oath or affirmation. Now I keep on saying oath or affirmation. This can happen in a case where somebody is giving evidence or testimony in court and they lie. They've taken oath and they lie, knowing very well that what they are saying is not the truth. Or instead of having taken an oath, they took what is called an affirmation, and they give misleading information, knowing very well, being aware. That is why there is a word there, willfully. In other words, it's not a mistake. There is falsehood, and the intention is to mislead purposely. As I said, it can be because they are giving evidence in those legal proceedings, or secondly, at a time when they are writing an affidavit. They take an oath or they take an affirmation and they make those false statements as somebody is busy taking or writing that affidavit, because you must remember affidavit is done under oath or under affirmation. Now, before I proceed, what is the difference between oath and affirmation? We all know that when you take an oath, you keep on saying, you say there are words that you say and then you say, so help me God. So the law in South Africa provides for an alternative, especially for people who feel that the oath is not binding on their conscience or because of religious beliefs. Some people can say, I don't want to say, so help me God. I don't want to sworn under oath. So they will rather opt for an affirmation, which is what I make most of the time. I do an affirmation, but anyway, it's not about me. So you do have an option of taking an oath or taking an affirmation when you when you are in court proceedings, giving testimony, giving evidence, or when you write an affidavit and you are with that commissioner of oaths. He has to commission that affidavit for you. Yes, you have an option. Instead of an oath, you can take an affirmation. Now, in South Africa, perjury is a crime. It is a crime. And in order for it to be committed, there are four elements or four things that must be considered for us to conclude that, yes, indeed, the crime of perjury was committed. The first one, it must be that the person who made that statement, he took an oath, he took an affirmation to testify truthfully. Because as far as you remember, people will be saying, to speak the truth and nothing else but the truth. That is why there are those words. So number one, this person committed under oath or under affirmation that they will give evidence or they will give testimony truthfully. They committed to that. During the proceedings, this is something that happens, by the way, during the proceedings. It's not at any other time or during the making of an affidavit, but it must be because they are legal proceedings. The second element, this person must have willfully made a misleading or false statement under oath. That's the second one. The first one, he committed that he will make a truthful statement. The second one, he purposely made that statement which was misleading, and he made it under oath or under affirmation. Thirdly, he knew that that statement wasn't true, because there are some instances where a person can make a statement genuinely. Let's say it can be a mistake, but in this instance, it was not a mistake. This person knew that what I'm saying, it's not true. It's planned. He wants to purposely mislead the court. I know that I'm saying he, but it can be he or she, but for now I'll say he. Purposely wants to mislead the court in the making of that statement. So he knew it's not a mistake. He knew that what I'm saying is untrue, but he continues to say it anyway. And the last important fact, the fourth one, this statement that this person makes, that he knows it's untrue, that he knows it's misleading, and making under oath or under affirmation, that he has promised that he will make it truthfully, it must be related to material fact. Material fact, it's something very, very important. Every other thing is important, of course, during legal proceedings. But you do have immaterial and material fact. And the one that is material is the one that is critically important. You continue, you go ahead, and you make that statement. And you know that it's not true. So you can see that the thread in this discussion is truthfulness, false, misleading. Those are the keywords. Under oath, under affirmation. Those are the keywords. So now the question is, once this happened in South Africa, what can be done? What can happen? How serious is this perjury, as we have just called it? Because people lie every day about very serious things during legal proceedings. There are so many people who mislead purposely. There's so many, and they are not even scared to mislead or to make those statements under oath, but nevertheless, they do it. We are aware of people's lives who have been destroyed because of some falsehoods, some misleading statements that people made in a court of law under oath in affidavits. At that time, they really don't care. Yeah, but it happens. Sometimes people, it's a way of trying to go scot-free or to redeem themselves. Yes, it happens so many times. And I think that is why there is a law to this effect, to deal with the situation, that once it is discovered, what is it that can be done? Well, in South Africa, it is a crime. Perjury is a crime. Lying under oath or under affirmation is a crime. And that is why we trying to explain it today, to warn people or to inform those who have been lied to, or about rather, under oath, that yes, you do have a legal solution to that problem. That person can be and can be prosecuted because you have lied to the court. And in that case, whilst lying to the court, misleading the court, there may be a miscarriage of justice because of you having lied. So what happens is, yes, a person can be prosecuted and he can be sentenced to prison, to imprisonment, up to 10 years. How many years? It will obviously depend on the circumstances or the merits of each case. But once found guilty, can be sentenced to imprisonment. You can get a very hefty fine in South Africa. This is something that the courts frown upon. This is something that is highly disliked by the courts, because the duty of the court is to ensure that people get justice. So if you come and lie to the court under oath or under affirmation, it can result in, obviously it will result in miscarriage of justice. So it is important to know that this is an offense and this is punishable in law because it is a crime in South Africa. Thank you very much for being part of my YouTube channel, for supporting. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and share this information with your friends, with your family. God bless you. Thank you very much.